Hey, shalom, 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 Yahweh B'Hashem Shabrakatah. Before I get this lesson started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yoshai B'Hashem Rakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, of whom I learned from in the Shalom. Taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elders, the elect spirits of Yahshua to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Radah from the GMS Atlanta camp. Going into more of what I'm learning. I'm studying. I want to try to connect now, and these aren't the only precepts for this specific lesson. Again, I did a lesson yesterday. I'm going to do this as number 2 to that, which doesn't mean it's complete. It's just more of my learning in this subject, and I'm sharing it with you. Exodus chapter 17, Isaiah 13, and Isaiah 47. So right here, in Exodus, Moses is taking the children of Israel out of Egypt, right? We are basically at this point in our history, we are in our beginning stages, our youth, our infantile, embryonic stages, if you will, as a nation. We're the 12 tribes. We're a lot of people. We don't fully have the law yet. We do not have a temple, right? We have a prophet, and we have the name of Yahweh, and we have, I think, our first holiday, our first instruction. One of our first instructions was the Passover that we observed as we were leaving Egypt, but we're not perfect in it yet. We're still learning, right? We're in the beginning stages of a nation. It's a very amazing thing what Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is doing with us as a nation right now. He's in a process of building us, just like he is right now, but this was a long time ago. So we're in the desert, we're walking, right? And we get thirsty because we're freshly out of Egypt, right? We're moving. We don't have a walled city that we can call our own yet, bro. So we're just kind of wandering around, and we get thirsty, and so we move. Let me start reading. And the people. So Exodus 17, verse 3. And the people thirsted there for water, and the people murmured against Moses and said, "Wherefore is this that thou hast brought us up out of Egypt to kill us and our children and our cattle with thirst?" And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, "What shall I do unto this people? They be almost ready to stone me." So so Yahweh had a plan the whole time. And Yahweh said unto Moses, "Go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod." I want you to keep a mental note of this rod. Okay, so he's instructed by Yahweh, by the Spirit of Yahweh, to bring elders and the rod, wherewith thou smotest the river. Take the rod that you smote the river to cross over away from Pharaoh and his army. Take that with you, and take in thine hand and go. This is huge. This is very important. It means something. Verse 6, "Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink." And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. So this is an authority thing. There's an order here. Yahweh's speaking to the prophet Moses, and Moses is doing this in front of the elders with the rod in his hand that he smote the Red Sea with, that we would cross over. This rod means something, and the rock means something. And he called the name of that place Massah and Meribah, because of the chiding of the children of Israel, and because they tempted Yahweh, saying, "It is the Lord among us or not?" So they drank from this, right? So now you need to understand, this is very huge. If you jump all the way to the New Testament, what does Yahweh Shai do? What is he doing at Passover? If any man thirst, let him come to me. Let him come. And he's doing this, and a lot of us aren't even with him. And I will the apostles were, and he had the women that were following him. So look, let's try here. John 7:37. In the last day, that great day of the feast, because this is talking about the Passover. Yahushua stood and cried, saying, "If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink." This is very personal. This is very intimate. This is very powerful. This is very exclusive because it's only dealing with this nation of people, because it was this same nation of people who were right here. There was no other race of people here. This was the Israelites coming out of Egypt, led by Moses, led by the chariot. Yahushua was in that chariot that's called the cloud. It was a UFO. And we're in our infantile stages. We don't know what to do. We're in the very beginning stages, very, very intimate moments, very precious memories and records of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai in his great labor that he has been laboring with us this entire time. All of these thousands of years he's been working on us as a nation. This is a very, very precious moment in history. And then when you go, and this was 2,000 years ago, so this is also a moment in history now. Yahushai, in his flesh form on the earth, and the last time he was on the earth in his ministry, he's manifesting this. He's manifesting this rock. This is the rock of our salvation that gushed out water. This is him. This was symbolic. The rod is symbolic of him. The rock is symbolic of him. And the water coming out of the rock is symbolic of the Spirit. That is this man right here. In the last day, the great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, "If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink." 38, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Now let's go back. Look at right here. So we understand. I'm going to show you guys something. There's a lot in this, man. The Spirit showing me, oh my gosh. I was studying this because I'm trying to prepare to speak this Saturday at camp. And then I'm looking at this, and the precepts just started coming out, and I'm taking photos. I'm taking screenshots of precepts, and then I'm like, man, I got to do a lesson. I gotta get this recorded. So give me grace, because I'm going to be stumbling through this because I'm not skilled yet, but I know the direction I'm going in. So, and Yahweh, okay, so Yahweh gives an order, gives instruction to Moses. Go on before the people and take with thee of the elders of Israel and thy rod. What's up with this rod? We understand that this rod is a scepter. It is part of the structure of the banner, which has to do with the name. It's also a scepter or a branch, which is also a portion or a type and shadow of Yahushai, and Yahushai is also the Word. So the Most High instructs he instructs Moses to take the rod, which is a type and shadow of the name, the branch, the lineage, the scepter, the Word, and you're going to use that to strike the rock. Wherefore thou smotest the river, take it in thine hand and go. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock with the rod. You're going to strike Yahushai with Yahushai. You're going to strike Yahushai with the Word. You're going to strike the Word with Yahushai. However you want to, both of these, the rod and the rock, are symbolic of the Word and the authority and the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai and Yahushai. That's what you got to see here. And when you put them together, you get the water. And that's what Yahushai is saying right here, man. Look, in the last day, that great day, in the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahushai stood and cried. So this is the rock. He's the rock of our salvation. He's the rock that water gushed out in. He's the rock that got struck, because he's going to go to the cross. He's going to get beat by those Roman guards. He's going to get whipped. He's going to get pierced. He's going to be bruised. The cat of nine tails had bone and metal in it. He's going to get the shit beat out of him, and he's going to get put on that cross. Okay, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. And then if you apply the rod, if you apply the scepter, if you apply his correct name, his correct doctrine concerning him, the water will gush, the living water, the baptism. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. All right? But this spake he of the Spirit, which they had believed on him should receive, for the Holy Spirit was not yet given. Just like in this moment in history, the Holy Spirit had not been given because we were still in our beginning stages as a nation. Same thing here. You're also seeing the construction, the coming together. The reason why I was using an embryonic stage, how long does a man gestate or come to form in his mother's womb? 9 to 10 months, right? It's an ongoing process. Every day, every week, every month, there's more detail. Every trimester, there's more and more detail. This is a trimester in a section of time in our nation. This is a trimester in a section of time in our nation. Can you see it? It's even telling you right there. What he's talking about is also what was being spoken about here. And what he's talking about here still has not come to pass fully yet. It's still in process. Awesome, deep. Let's go back, because this is just one of the points in this. So now we understand the importance of Yahushai as the rod, Yahushai as the rock, Yahushai being the source of the living water that you have to have. What does King David say? Psalms, or do I want to jump? Let's jump to, I think it's Psalms 1. I think it's the first Psalm. Look at this. Look, let's just get it. Look. Look what King David says. And King David was the father of King Solomon. And King Solomon is Yahushai, and Yahushai is called the son of David. Look at this. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel, the wine of the ungodly, the philosophies. We don't trust in their rod. We don't trust in their scriptures and the things they say. Nor standeth in the way of sinners. We don't stand amongst their elders. Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Look at number 2. But his delight is in the law, is in the rod, is in the word, the testimony of Yahushua, the spirit of prophecy. But his delight is in that law, because this is in the law. Look, this is in the law. We're going into the mysteries of the rock and the rod in Exodus chapter 17, right? That's the law. But his delight, and we're going to go into Isaiah chapter 13 and 47, and also chapter 47. So, what are those? Those are the prophecies. But his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And Yahushua said, what? I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will. So as you're going through these prophecies and these precepts, and you're getting understanding, you're learning more and more about Yahushua. You're seeing more and more of Yahushua. And as you speak to and speak of and pray about and pray in the name of Yahushua concerning Yahweh, and you learn this new song, the water gushes forth. The baptism, the power of the Holy Spirit, the quenching of the living water comes into you. The thirst is quenched, because what is Zion? Zion is a parched place. We were purposely created dry to be filled with a specific water. Our thirst can only be quenched by Yahushua. Yahushua is water. Only the living water of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua can quench our thirst. That is how dry, that's the type of dryness that we have in Mount Zion, meaning a parched place that we can only be filled by this water. But his delight is in the law of Yahweh, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Look at 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. Where are those rivers coming from? The throne of Yahweh, through Yahushua, by way of Yahushua. Wisdom enters into holy souls, making them friends and prophets with Yahweh. That's the wisdom of Solomon, bro. That's what these waters are. It's wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. What are we called to do, you guys? I'm going somewhere specifically with this. Whatsoever we do shall prosper. Well, we're going to go to war. Why? Because in this same chapter, look at this, in this same rock of our salvation, gushing water, because of the rod of Moses, which is the scepter and the staff. All right, we're gonna get the etymon on that, or we're gonna get the blue letter. Look, take the rod. So verse 5, the water Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai. I feel the Spirit. Okay, and Yahweh said unto Moses, go on before the people, and take with thee of the elders of Israel, and thy rod, the rod wherewith thou smotest the river. Take it in thine hand and go. Let's get the blue letter. What's this rod? What is this rod? The rod. You see it? Mateh.
Strong's H4294. Mateh. Mateh.
What do you see? You see staff, you see branch, you see tribe. You could, because it says tribe, you could say lineage, which is seed. Okay, you see staff, rod, and shaft. You see branch or vine. What did Yahweh Shai say? I am the vine, you are the branch. Apart from me, you can do nothing. Company led by chief with a staff. Now think about this precept again. Take the rod, which is what? One more time. Take the rod. Take the rod, take the rod, take the rod, Moses. What is the rod symbolic of? The branch. Isn't Yahweh Shai's name the branch in one of the prophecies? You best believe it. Look, I pulled it. It's right here in Zechariah. Look, 6:12. And speaking to him, saying, thus speaketh Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh Tazabawath, saying, behold, the man whose name is the branch, he shall grow up out of his place in the lineage, and he shall build the temple of Yahweh. Who built the temple? King Solomon. King Solomon came from the loins of King David. And what was the prophecy that the prophet Nathan said about King Solomon? He shall be my son, and I will be his father. And if he transgress, I will chastise him with the stripes, with the rod of the sons of men. But my mercy shall not depart from him. Here goes the striking. There goes the striking, bro. Look how deep this keeps getting, dude. And with that rod, with the prophecies and the word, the law, you're going to strike. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock. Why? Because King Solomon, who is Yahweh Shai, was going to go off. And he was going to be striped. He was going to be chastised with the rod, with the stripes of men. And the rod, let's just get that. We gotta show this. This is powerful. Man, this is, and dude, I'm still not even getting to my point yet. Look at this. He shall be my son. He shall be my son. It's first or second King. He shall be my son. Look at this, man. He shall be my son. Come on, give it to me. Give that. Yes, that's what I was. The water. Okay, let's go back. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, so look, this is 2 Samuel, chapter 7. King David wanted to build the temple. He had gold and he had billions. He had billions of dollars of material set aside from all of the spoils of his war. He was ready to build the temple, and Yahweh B'Shem Yahshai said, no, your son's going to build it. Because the son that I'm going to send through your loins is my son. Trip off of this. Let's read it. And it came to pass when the king sat in his house, and Yahweh had given him rest round about from all his enemies, because he'd been whooping everybody's ass, subduing the earth, that the king said unto Nathan, and this is the prophet Nathan, you see the king and prophet and king. The king, the prophet, see now I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of the Most High dwelleth within curtains. And Nathan, and remember, this has been an ongoing process of Yahweh with his great labor perfecting us as a nation. Is it when you can see it like this? It's very intimate, very intimate. That the man of war, Yahweh of hosts, the man of war, Allah Shaja, is like this with us. He's not, and he's actually, honestly, his wisdom is the reason and the result for all the other nations too. But we are the ones that he gave his wisdom to on the right hand side and the law. Okay, it's very intimate. And Nathan said to the king, "Go, do all that is in thine heart, for Yahweh is with thee." So Nathan was in agreement with King David, but this is the mind of Yahweh now coming to the prophet Nathan to correct this. And they weren't in transgression. He's just like, no, there's a better way. It came to pass that night that the word of Yahweh came unto Nathan, saying, "Go and tell my servant David, thus saith Yahweh, shalt thou build me an house for me to dwell in? Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt, even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle. In all the places where I have walked with all the children of Israel, spake I a word with any of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, saying, Why build ye not me a house of cedar? Now, therefore, so shalt thou say unto my servant David, Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, I took thee from the sheepfold, the coat, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people of Israel, and I was with thee whithersoever thou wentest, and have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. That's a very powerful statement, man. Verse 10, Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more, neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more. That goes into Esau, you guys, and the nations, and the heathen nations, but this is specific to Amalek. I want you guys to think about that, because they're going to come up later. Wickedness afflict them any more as before time, and as since that time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies. Also Yahweh telleth thee that he will make thee an house. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house. He shall build an house for my name. And this is the branch mentioned in Zechariah, which is Yahushua, which is King Solomon. And I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father. This is huge. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of Israel. There goes your striking at the doorpost in the Passover, and this is also the commandment that the Most High, when he gave the first time to Moses, to strike the rock with the rod. That's what this is all connected to. But this is the completion of it. Look at this. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away from before thee. And thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever. So King Solomon, who is Yahushua, right, gets punished. He gets chastised, but the promise of the mercy of Yahweh will never be removed from King Solomon, who is the son of David, who is Yahushua. Yahweh will never remove his mercy from Yahushua. And it is through Yahushua that we obtain this great mercy. Now, saying all of that, let's go back here. Look at Exodus. Behold. So remember, this is the beginning stages of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua building this great mountain, this great house, this great family, this nation that we know as Israel. Yasharallah. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Mount Horeb, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. Let me go back here again. Hold on. So I'm just going to pull that up real quick. Slovakia. Hold on. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay, I'm going to pull that up. Hold on. So look at this. So now Moses listens to Yahweh. And again, I apologize for me being a little jagged. I'm not all the way skilled yet, but I'm getting there. We all are. So Moses in the chapter of Exodus, chapter 17, has been given a great token of who Yahweh is through the rod and through the rock. And we drink that water. The children of Israel are the only nation that this is happening to. That all this depth of who Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai is and who Yahweh is specifically to us, there's no other nation involved. And then watch. And he called the name of that place Massah and Meribah because of the chiding of the children of Israel and because they tempted Yahweh saying, is the Lord among us or not? Now look at this, verse 8, Amalek. Now here is this. Remember in Samuel 7:10, moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more as before. What does this mean? Right here. This is the head tribe of the border of wickedness. This is Amalek, the head tribe of Edom. Then came Amalek. So we just got done drinking water. What's this water symbolic of, though? We just got done drinking the Holy Spirit. We just got drinking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Why? Because we were trusting in the rock of our salvation. We were following our prophet Moses or anyone like him. And because he was applying the rod, which is what? A token of Yahushai, the branch, which is also the word of God, because we are believing in Yahushai, according to how the scriptures and the prophecies have spoken about him, we are now what? Empowered with the Holy Spirit because we're drinking the water. And no matter what we do, whatever we do, like King David said in Psalms 1, will prosper. Look at this. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out and fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. There goes that rod mentioned again. Why is the rod significant? Because it's a type and shadow of Yahushai. It's a type and shadow of his name. It's a type and shadow of the word, the banner. Look at this, man. The staff, the branch, the tribe. You see this? So the prophets lift up Yahushai. The prophets apply Yahushai. The prophets teach Yahushai, right? And the rest of the apostles and prophets that are following the prophet that's lifting up Yahushai, as Joshua was doing, they continue to labor and work and speak and declare this truth concerning Amalek. That's what this is about right here. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses and Aaron and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed. So what is that symbolic of? We're lifting up the name of Yahushai. We're lifting up the name of Yahweh and all that is written about him in the truth. When we're doing that, we are prevailing against what? The head tribe of the border of wickedness who is in control of the planet Earth right now. This is huge, dude. This is in Christianity, in Renaissance Western Christianity, this is an insignificant battle because of the way they teach the Bible. We do not. Do you understand what is happening right now on planet Earth is specifically because of this tribe of people. They are the ones that is going to lead out. They're going to lead the rest of the Edomites into World War III. They're the ones that are in a position of such power that they're able to write legislation that they're gonna cause the famine of the world. Well, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai is doing it, but it's going to be through this specific seed line of people, where everything's anti-Semitic. When they're not the chosen. They are Shemitic, because the proper way to say that is Shemitic, Shem, not Sem. But they're Amalek. They're the tribe. They're the border of wickedness, and they have been able, on the left-hand side to put a veil over the entire earth, and people think that they're the chosen people of God. This is major. We have been, so look at this. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand, when we lift up Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, the name and the doctrine absolutely matters. Okay? That prevailed against it when he let down his hand. Amalek prevailed. What's the other one more thing, Salakia. No, I'll get it. But Moses' hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat there on, and Aaron and Hur stayed on his hands, the one on the one side and the one on the other side, and his hands were steady until the going down sun. And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book. Record this, because this is very important, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heaven. And this has not happened yet. This has not happened yet. And Moses built an altar and called it what? Yahweh Nisi, which means what? Yahweh my banner. And we just went into yesterday. For he said, because Yahweh has sworn that he will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And so the only way we can defeat Amalek, you guys, is by lifting up Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and the correct doctrine, which is what the rod is symbolic of. And we also know that we just got done drinking water earlier from the rock, which is also what? Yahweh Shai is the rock of our salvation. We can do nothing without Yahweh Shai, you guys. And we can do nothing without his name. And we can do nothing without knowing how to understand these precepts the correct way, not the way we were taught by our enemies. Now look at this. Look how powerful this is, man. So look, I still got to bring up Isaiah 13. I'm not even, God, man. So look. So right here. So look. Verse 14. And Yahweh said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua, for I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek from under the heaven. And Moses built an altar and called it, let's do this. Let's do this. And called it Yahweh my banner. What is a banner? We went into it yesterday. We're going to do it again. Go into a banner is a standard. Banner. A banner. A piece of cloth attached to the upper end of a pole or staff. There goes your rod. There goes your branch. That's what this is. Flag, banner, standard. Okay? Identifying sign, banner, standard. Also a company under a banner. A company. Who's the company? The army. Okay? Formerly the standard of a king. Look at that. Formerly the standard of a king, lord or knight, behind which his followers marched to war and to which they rallied in battle. Oh my dude. The figurative sense of anything displayed as a profession of principles. So what is the banner? What is the standard that we are marching to? It's the word, it's the testimony, it's the prophecies. It is what has been written in the scriptures the correct way. Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. We have to march. So we are at war with Amalek because Yahweh is at war with Amalek. Now let's jump. We got to jump to Isaiah 13 and then 47. So look at this. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice. That's the rod. That's the prophecy. That's the new song. Unto them shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. That's us down here on the ground, the Hebrew Israelites, and called my mighty ones for my anger. There goes your angels, your Elohim in the chariots, the so-called UFOs. Even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms. There goes your Psalms 83. of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. This is Yahweh Shabbat. This is where the Most High is going to judge all these fucking people, right? They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. How ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh. Same as Joel, chapters 1, 2, and 3. Cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. I will punish the world with their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more. And as a result of all the people dying, and as a result of everything being so chaotic, the pride of the Western women will be at an end. Independence of fucking female hyper-feminism will be destroyed because America will have been collapsed by now. The food chain and the water supply chain will have collapsed. Everything will be chaotic. Mass fucking crime and lawlessness, and then just oppression will set in. Famine and pestilence, and men will be dying because of the wars, and women will need the protection of men again. And the vibration of Esau, the whore, mystery Babylon, will be fading in the earth, and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and his standard will begin to swell on the earth through the men and the prophets that have been chanting down this kingdom through this word, and who are still on the earth saying the same thing. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heaven, and the earth shall remove out of his place. So that shaking of the heaven is talking about the rulership of Esau. That's what that's talking about. And as a result of that power structure on the earth being destroyed, of course, which is also the ICBM missiles, the earth will, it's going to rock to and fro. That's what and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chase roe. What does that mean? Talking about the remnant of the so-called white man. They're going to be scared. They're going to be scattered. They're going to be hiding. Everyone's going to be turned against this motherfucker. No one's going to view him the way they used to look at him. He's taking beating after beating. The other nations, the other heathen nations are fucking gathered against his ass. Everything's falling apart. The fucking elite are hiding under the ground in their $1 trillion bunkers. It doesn't look good. And as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people and flee everyone into his own land, because America's not the shit no more. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Any of you females married to these fucking Edomites, all of you heathen women that are married to these, you're done. You're going to die along with them. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. And any of you Jakes that want to team up with a handful of these so-called Edomites who are trying to be nice during this time, you're going to die along with them, because this is their time of judgment. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. That's a very violent prophecy. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. A very violent prophecy. You see what's happening. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. As for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare the children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. Look at this. Verse 19 is huge, and we're going to jump to Isaiah 47. But this identifies this specific race of people. The Amalekites and the rest of the Edomites at the upper levels, they are a witchcraft satanic nation. They've always have been. They cannot be Christians because of the Edomites. The Renaissance Western Christianity was an enchantment to deceive the lower level Edomites and the rest of the world But at the very top, these people are your modern day Chaldeans. Verse 19, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. What does this mean? This is the height of the witchcraft. This is the highest and most powerful any witchcraft nation has ever been in the history of man. The Epstein files proves this. Let's just get a real quick video. The ability that they have globally to traffic children and humans sacrifice them at the levels that they've been able to do is unmatched before any other nation prior to this.
The Vatican is the long-standing procurer of children for the elite. It turns out that drinking children's blood is an anti-aging device. This is just really sick and disgusting, but it's a fact. It's a chemical fact. And if you drink adrenalized children's blood, this is a doubly effective anti-aging device. It's gone on throughout.
It's also how they communicate with the left hand, because once they're high on human child blood that they've been torturing with the adrenochrome, while they are under the influence of blood that's inside of their body from a child they raped and murdered, the left-handed Alahayim give them downloads of Luciferian wisdom and understanding. That's how they communicate.
History. This is not new. The Catholic Church is all about power over people.
I don't know if you know this, but Hitler
survived.
British rule family. Israel was created.
When you get those red shoes.
This is very important. Listen to this. And then we're going to go back to the precepts. But this is who these fucking people are.
And it usually signifies a very significant kind of higher level.
Look at that fucker's face, man. Just look at his fucking face, dude. That is a goblin. That's a fucking goblin.
Ritual killing. And the shoes are made out of child skin. Usually you'll see they get significant rings with diamonds in them. The more, children they kill, a lot of them like to have those diamond trophies that they wear around. They would just receive, the diamond or the ring after it's done. And you see later, those are offered for massive amounts of money once the Pope stops wearing them. Mostly you're going to find that people who...
So adults are just randomly holding photos of children in front of the camera. That's called the revelation of the method. They're just boasting on their wickedness in front of the camera, and everybody thinks that he was praying for that girl's picture. That's not what that was. That was a girl that's going to get fucking sacrificed. Either she was already sacrificed or she will be later after that meeting.
Who are wearing those are part of the Jesuit and the Kabbalah esoterical levels of the Illuminati, but it would be comparable to, the Masonic branch. It would, you'd be above a level 33 degree Mason.
All right, we're done with that. Let's go back. So, and Babylon, this is Isaiah 13:19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. It's talking about America, right? Talking about the so-called white man. The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. What you just saw. This is just a facet of it. But when it goes into the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, it's talking about their left-hand altars, the way that they do their rituals. This is the highest that mankind has ever achieved on the left-hand side ever. Ever. It's worse than any other previous nation. And Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So the Most High is telling you he is going to burn this place with ICBM missiles. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in. This matches Revelations, where it talks about satyrs and shit running around here because it will be burning forever. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So when you jump to 47, Isaiah 47, it's the same thing. And it's talking about the same fucking people. And Amalek is in all of this. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstone and grind the meal. Uncover the locks. Make bare the legs. Uncover the thighs. Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. And that's what we are seeing. The Epstein files mostly was released so that the whole world could see it, but so that the elect Hebrew Israelite men, the hopeful elect men, could take that, line it up with these precepts, and lift it up to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And these digital epistles and the mighty ones would take this with incense before Yahweh, and inquisition is being made. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And as we apply, remember Moses, the rod, the staff, the scepter. What else? There's another one. Hold on. Salakia. Look. Right here. So you got the scepter. You got the definition of the scepter. It's all the branch. You got Yahushua being called the branch. Verse 49, Genesis 49 and 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. That not only is this talking about a tribe, it's talking about Yahushua. Yahushua is literally that scepter. He is the rod of Yahweh. Okay, he is the star that rises out of Jacob. And we are calling on Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua to send, to shalak Yahushua, wa Micah Allah, while all the other Allahim to come and destroy, right? To shalak Mashapatyam. I'm brain farting the words Haragyam, Mashapatyam, and all the Guayam and Ayab Yanara Baba Kisha, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, send him to destroy this place. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So you see all of this. All right? You see it all. You see it all. You see the staff, you see the branch, the word branch, you see the scepter. This is all for Yahweh to come back and destroy with the holy angels. All right? According to what has been written. He is that rod, he is that rock. The nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. And this is talking about Amalek, because Amalek is the chief tribe sitting at the highest places of this wicked nation, going all the way back to Exodus chapter 17. The children of wickedness that have been afflicting us, mentioned in 2 Samuel. It's an ongoing theme. Sit thou silent, and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people, and we did sin. Again, we got to confess and acknowledge our whorishness, our adulteries, our wicked, our imperious adulteries against Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. And we acknowledge that we've done that before the world. We sinned against him. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, have mercy on us by the blood of Yahweh Shai, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha. I was wrath with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy upon the ancient. Hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. And thou said, I shall be a lady forever. And no, they're not. So that thou didst not lay these things to thine heart, neither didst thou remember the latter end of it. Therefore, hear now this. Thou art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am, and none else besides me. I shall sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come upon thee in a moment, and one day. The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection. for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. These people are a witchcraft nation. Amalek is a satanic race. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. This is why they act like this.
At the hunting parties, when you get
none seeth me. Look, right here.
With diamonds in them.
Look, none seeth me. Hold on.
The more, children they kill who are wearing for massive amounts.
None seeth me. They're doing that shit right in front of you. And everyone is just ascribing because they're white people. They're probably just praying for that little girl. No, they're going to sacrifice that little bitch. And they're showing you they have done such a great job at lying to you about who they are by making the so-called image of the white man seem and appear as righteousness just because their skin is white that you guys don't even recognize. Why are fucking adults looking at a picture in front of a camera while everybody's freaking about this dumbass fucking man who's claiming to be the Pope, when Edomites are the border of wickedness and they can't even have a relationship with the Most High and Yahushua because they were created to be the fucking wicked. That's how stupid everybody is.
Are offered for massive amounts of money once the Pope stops wearing them. Mostly you're going to find that.
That's all that was. Someone's going to buy that little girl and they're going to do wicked shit to her and they're going to drink her fucking blood. And that's what they're doing right there. That's what this is going into. Verse 10, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am and none else besides me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thine counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. And what's this fire? The prophecies that the elect Hebrew Israelite men are declaring about Amalek and Esau, based on what's written about them in prophecy, Bahashem Yahushai. That's the fire. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame, there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before. Also the ICBM missiles, but it starts with what we are saying about them, based on what is written about them. Thus shall they be unto thee, with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander, every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. I pray that this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great millstone of whom I learned from. It's your brother Radah. Shalom.